Like me, you love your James Bond. This story could simply leave you shaken and stirred. I know. Hi, good morning, Neil. Sean here in the very heart of London today. Nice to see you. Hope you're keeping well as ever. This particular story really centres on a fun topic because we all love a James Bond, don't we? Way back in 1962, Dr. No hit the big screen and was an instant success for a very young unknown actor called Sean Connery. Lucky enough to meet Sean Connery, as I have many of the Bond people. In fact, I found a picture the other day, and I'll have to dig them out for you, of a young lady who was in one of the sort of latter Bonds with Daniel Craig, and you know when you think, who did she play? And then you can't remember. But this is the problem with this celebrity life, you can't keep up with it. But Bond, as I'm sure you all now have realised, is 60 years old. Can you believe it? 60 years since Ursula Andress came out of the sea clutching those shells and of course creating a moment of movie icon. Well, now we can tell you, this is great news in fact, because one of my very favourite Bonds that I was lucky enough to meet was none other than Sir Roger Moore. Now, Roger Moore was just a genius, brilliant guy, loved him, and of course didn't take himself too seriously. What I liked about Roger was the fact that he knew that he was kind of a limited actor, and I mean that in the kindest way. Like he said, he started out as a knitwear model and then of course moved on to acting, became a star at Warner Brothers, MGM, Ivanhoe, all of those sort of things. Did you know, by the way, Roger told me this, that when he was up for the part in Robin Hood, he lost out on the part because they did a movie test for him, and one of the movie bosses said to him, look, you haven't got the best legs. And as Roger said to me, who looks great in green tights anyway? So they had a debate about whether they could bring in a leg double. That's Hollywood for you. And then of course, even with the removal of his legs, they decided he was still too wooden. Or as Roger put it, rather sort of tongue-in-cheek, he said even the Arrow board was better at acting than he was. Always self-depreciating, always great fun. But as I say, it's 60 years since the start of Bond, and Roger Moore, alongside of course the very beautiful Jane Seymour, starred in Live and Let Die. Now, for the very first time after many years, it's going to be returning to the big movie screens. And as Sir Roger told me and Jane herself and many other Bonds, this is truly the only way to see Bonds on the big screen. So look out for them. They are coming back out around the world. Jane Seymour, though, by the way, said that when she was making the movie with Roger, she played, of course, Solitaire. Beautiful lady, both inside and out, just a really nice lady. Done so many things, an artist, fashion icon, and of course beautiful actress too. What was interesting though with Jane, she said that Roger, in the most intimate of scenes, would decide to bring in things like a whoopee cushion. And she said this was the time when movie bosses did have some spare cash to, shall we say, break, yes, loosely speaking, the ice. And she said, so it really did help the situation on set. As you know, they filmed it out in Jamaica, amongst other places, alongside the ever famous Pinewood Studios in London. So if you are a James Bond fan, wherever you are in the world, do as what Sir Roger Moore told me. If you're going to watch Bond, you must go to a cinema and see it on the big screen, because there are so many other elements that you do miss by watching them on these digital devices, iPads. Even if you've got a big screen at home, there's nothing like everybody sitting in the cinema together enjoying the magic of James Bond. I was lucky enough to spend quite a lot of time with Sir Roger Moore, and truly he was a magical actor, great raconteur, and of course just a simply nice man.